chat. What's good, everybody? Today, took a little day break because I was a little tired yesterday, but got to upload for y'all today, and we will be talking about some Jujutsu Kaisen. This content is kind of a little bit new. I haven't tried to do anything like this, just going on like a little talk or a rant about something in a show. I usually just talk about scaling or fighting or ranking, but this video is a little bit different. Today I'll be talking about everybody's favorite character in Jujutsu Kaisen. And pretty much the main character, honestly, for being like dead ass. Satoru Gojo, the honored one, right? We'll be talking a lot about him and his title, the strongest throughout the entire Jujutsu Kaisen series, right? So today we'll be targeting 3 points of what it means to be the strongest, right? Like the title, just in general, right? So we will be talking about power, authority, and respect, right? All three of those. First, we're gonna talk about power, right? So in general, we already know Gojo was born incredibly strong, but he wasn't born the strongest immediately. He had all the ingredients, but he needed to take a few more steps to get there, right? So, throughout his teenage years, him and Geto were profound as the best sorcerers of the modern era and some top tier blockbuster, really strong characters, right? So, right, but they weren't defined as exactly the strongest just yet. Although they paraded around and said they were the strongest, they weren't. Toji came around and checked both of them, right? But they had this mindset that both of them at the two were the strongest. And part of that is kind of true, but we kind of get more definitive way of getting Gojo to being the strongest, right? After he awakens and beat Toji, he is then renowned around the world as the strongest modern era sorcerer, or the strongest sorcerer alive, right? And that's where, this idea of power comes from, right? Gojo gained so much more power that, it led Geto into a downward spiral. He couldn't even be with his friend anymore. He couldn't be on par with him. Gojo being the strongest led a few things in action in the story. But what I want to talk about is the power that came along with that title and his power in general. The power that came along with that title literally forced cursed users to just go in hiding. Like they didn't even want to fight. They didn't want to fight anymore. Because it was so unfair, and he basically imbalanced for sorcerers to be over cursed spirits just in general. The I think Kenjaku or Jogo explains it, how much Gojo shifted the power so that it wasn't even fair game for them. So that's why, in the first place they wanted to get Sukuna and Shibuya to make it equal, right? So that comes with the power of being the strongest. You have to be aware of him. You need contingency plans for him, right? In Shibuya, we see that Gojo is so strong that they're jumping him and it's not doing anything. Jogo thought it was insane to fight him for 2 minutes. Like he's like, do you expect us to survive against Gojo for 2 minutes, right? So, once he's sealed, it really goes to a testament to the fact that once he's sealed, it's now equal. He was so much of a power play that the other side was like, we need to seal him just to make it equal, a fair playing ground, right? So that's for the power perspective. I think we can all get behind the power perspective, right? But second is authority. Now the authority of becoming the arm, or the authority with being the strongest, is the fact that people kind of have to have this authority with Gojo. Like Gojo can basically, right, order you around, tell you to do whatever you want to, because he has that higher authority, right? Even the elders in Jujutsu and Jujutsu High are, I look, you might be incorrect about this, but so I'll just say the elders, right? The elders were even scared of Gojo's power, and Gojo is aware that he can kill the elders at any time. He high key has higher authority than them, honestly, because they're scared of him, right? And that's pretty fair. If Gojo wasn't so non-caring, he could honestly just take over just in general if he wanted to. It's really clear that his authority as being the strongest sets like a few steps of boundaries when he's just talking to anybody or anybody's talking to him, right? But that kind of goes hand in hand with respect. If you caught it earlier, I almost said respect, but let's move on to respect actually. So we can talk a little bit about that, right? So the respect with becoming the strongest or being the strongest is the fact that everybody, and I mean everybody, knows that Gojo's the strongest, right? Right. Sukuna is the exclusion. Sukuna, right? But everybody else in the series literally goes out of their way to be like, oh, well, Gojo's the strongest. Everybody, he can do this. He's the only one that can do this except Satoru Gojo, of course, right? So everybody, including the narrator, knows that Gojo is just the strongest, right? And that comes with the respect of all his peers. All his peers respect him, no matter how they think about his personality. All his peers respect him. His students respect him. They've all called him the strongest. It was even clear when Sukuna even respects him, right? Even when Sukuna killed him, he respected him. He was like, "Yeah, you gave me the fight of my life. I respect you, right?" Gojo's literally the only reason why Sukuna was defeated because he nerfed him to the point where they got a chance to beat him, right? So everybody in the Jujutsu Kaisen manga, anime, whatever, right, respects him as the strongest. A lot of people don't like him. The curse users don't like him. The disaster curses don't like him. Fucking Kenjaku doesn't like him, right? But they all have to respect that he's the strongest, and they go around parading that he's the strongest, and he's the reason why the shift even happened with sorcerers and curse users and curse spirits, right? He gave them that edge, right? So that's really those three: power, authority, and respect. And just even going further into it, just throughout the manga, again, like I said before, he's paraded as the strongest. Enemies or allies, they know he's the strongest, and they respect him as that, right? So this is a little short video today, honestly. I just wanted to talk a little bit about it, and also uh, have a few other videos coming up that I'm focusing on more. So this is really just a filler thing, right? Honestly, if you like this type of video, comment and like. Let me know your thoughts on Gojo and the story of Jujutsu Kaisen, and in general, if you just think that I should start doing more videos like this too, right? So that's pretty much all, and I will see you guys next time. Peace.